Former WWE Women's Champion Ronda Rousey gives birth to second daughter. Dear loves, welcome to WWE Family Show. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel. On Thursday, January 9th, Rousey gave birth to her second daughter, Liko'ula Pawomahina Kaipiha Brown. Rousey broke the news on social media with a series of pictures of her new daughter with the rest of her family, while also referencing the wildfires that have devastated California in the past few days. Our little girl came into this world during a windstorm into a city on fire, so grateful she made it safe and sound. Liko'ula Pawomahina Kaipiha Brown, after finding success in judo and in UFC, which included a reign as the women's bantamweight champion and being the first female inductee into the Hall of Fame, Ronda Rousey signed with WWE in 2018, following a previous appearance with The Rock, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania 31. Debuting at WrestleMania 34, Rousey teamed with Kurt Angle to defeat Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, with many praising her first match. Rousey went on to win the Women's Championship later that year and held the title until WrestleMania 35, which saw Becky Lynch pin Rousey in the main event. Returning and winning the 2022 Royal Rumble, Rousey won the Women's Championship 2 more times and the Women's Tag Team titles alongside Shayna Baszler once before losing to Baszler in an MMA rules match at SummerSlam 2023, her final match in the company. Ronda Rousey returned to social media heading into the weekend, and she did so with a major life announcement. The former UFC and WWE champion shared a video to Instagram of herself sitting in a hospital bed holding her newborn baby and showing her off to her 2-year-old daughter, La'akea Makalapuau Kalanipo. Along with the video, Rousey included a carousel of photos that showed her holding the newborn, as well as photos of La'akea and the father, former UFC fighter Travis Browne, admiring the baby as well. Rousey is perhaps best known for helping women's mixed martial arts take off in the UFC. She was a champion in that company, finishing her fighting career with a 12-2 record. Following her UFC career, she competed in the WWE, becoming the only woman to win the title in both organizations. If you purchase a product or register for an account through a link on our site, we may receive compensation. By using this site, you consent to our user agreement and agree that your clicks, interactions, and personal information may be collected, recorded, and/or stored by us and social media and other third-party partners in accordance with our privacy policy. Ronda Rousey and her husband Travis Browne have welcomed a new addition to their family. On Thursday, former UFC Women's Bantamweight champion Rousey gave birth to the couple's second child as they welcomed daughter Liko'ula Pawomahina Kaipiha Brown into their growing family. San Diego, California, July 25th. Ronda Rousey poses during the debut of her new graphic novel Expecting the Unexpected during 2024 Comic-Con International at Hilton Bayfront on July 25th, 2024 in San Diego, California. More Fraser Harrison, Getty Images. Rousey, who also claimed championship gold on multiple occasions in the WWE, shared the news of the new arrival on her Instagram page. Our little girl came into this world during a windstorm into a city on fire, so grateful she made it safe and sound, she wrote. The message accompanied a video of Rousey and her 2 daughters, as well as a selection of photos of the happy family all together following the new arrival. UFC Hall of Famer Rousey is credited for the explosion in popularity of women's MMA, with the Olympic bronze medal-winning judoka transitioning to the sport and capturing championship gold in Strikeforce before becoming the first female champion in UFC history. She went on to defend her women's bantamweight title 6 times before losing the belt to Holly Holm at UFC 193 in November 2015. A planned comeback ended in defeat to then-champion Amanda Nunes at UFC 207 a year later, and Rousey transitioned from the UFC's octagon to the squared circle of the WWE. Rousey was an instant hit in WWE as she became only the 8th woman in WWE history to win the Women's Triple Crown, capturing the SmackDown Women's Championship twice, while also winning the Raw Women's title and the Women's Tag Team titles, alongside longtime friend and fellow former UFC fighter Shayna Baszler. She also won the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble. The combat sports superstar has also parlayed her athletic skills to the big screen, with movie appearances in The Expendables 3, Furious 7, and Entourage. She has also hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live. Rousey eventually called time on her in-ring career and explained in her second autobiography, Our Fight, a memoir, that her decision came as a result of the number of concussions she had sustained during her athletic career. Now living with husband and former UFC heavyweight contender Brown on their 4,000-acre ranch, Rousey Acres, Rousey is enjoying life after fighting as she raises her young family, away from the spotlight. Ronda Rousey at arrivals for WWE Evolution inaugural all-women exclusive pay-per-view event, NYCB Live at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, New York, October 28, 2018. Credit: Imago Deposit Photos. Former UFC queen Ronda Rousey has dropped a massive hint about the fighting future of her legendary family, revolving around her newborn daughter. Rousey's own journey into combat sports was off the back of a decorated familial lineage, and she had sizable footprints to follow. The former Strikeforce champion's mother, Anne-Maria DeMars, was a prolific judoka. DeMars was the first American woman to become a world champion in judo, winning gold at the 1984 World Judo Championships. She was inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame in 2016. Paving her way as a decorated judo player, Rousey won an Olympic bronze at the 2008 Games in Beijing, and she used her grappling skills to massive success in the UFC. Before the competition got the measure of the Californian inside the octagon, the inaugural UFC bantamweight champion defended her title a staggering 6 times. Rousey recently welcomed her second daughter with husband Travis Brown. Liko Ula Pawamahina Kaipiha Brown is a little over 2 months old now. The couple's first daughter, La Akea Makalapuakalanipo Brown, was born in 2021. And while her own combat sports career is over, Rousey hinted that her second child may have a future in the sport. 3 generations, one Matt, Rousey wrote on Instagram, while posting a photo of herself, DeMars, and her newborn daughter. As far as Rousey's fighting career is concerned, she is likely never to compete again. The 38-year-old had addressed her combat sports tenure in some unsettling terms last year. Though she has been largely considered retired from the sport, Rousey has still been linked with a return to the octagon for one final fight. These rumors gained some traction ahead of UFC 300 last year. Linked with a trilogy fight with former foe Miesha Tate at the time, Rousey opened up on her decision to step away from the sport. Ending her stint with back-to-back devastating knockout losses to both Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes, the Olympian worryingly addressed the damage she suffered from competing extensively. However, these ailments haven't kept her fully away from the action. Rousey did compete in professional wrestling with the WWE World Wrestling Entertainment to a rousing reception from its fandom. But since her exit from the UFC and WWE, Rousey, considered a pioneer in women's mixed martial arts, claims her legacy has been ripped to shreds. The Riverside grappler has often asserted how the media never gave her the respect she deserved during her iconic run, so any sort of return to competition seems off the cards as of now. But, like she hinted, her legacy is likely to be carried forward by the next generation.